Hi, my name is Connie. This is my daughter Laurel. She's going to be helping me today, and we're going to be making some Pönnukökur. One of the best things you can get here in the Gimli area. Well, I suppose they make it all over, but it comes from Iceland originally. First of all, half a cup of sour cream. Then we add 2 eggs. I'll just put it back in there.
Perfect.
We'll just give that a bit of a stir. I like to use a whisk for that. Works best. Mix that up. What's the next step is
The coffee.
coffee.
So we just made some coffee.
Yeah.
And put a little bit.
Needs to be hot.
Right, yes.
You can use hot water, but we prefer to use hot coffee. It gives it a little flavor and also a little color. So we have
Baking soda.
baking soda, teaspoon, half a teaspoon. I'm just going to stir that a little bit. It should foam up a bit, just to show that it's active.
Not very foamy?
No, it's not very foamy. Have you got more?
Yep.
Let it go. There. Okay, that's good. Okay, so we'll stir that in. That's what I wanted to see, a little bit of action from the baking powder. So we'll stir that in. See, it makes a nice brown batter. Next is the cinnamon, I believe. Teaspoon of cinnamon. Stir that in.
I remember that one time, I think I told you this before, but I forgot to put the cinnamon in at this point, and I tried to put it in at the end, and for some reason it doesn't come together. It all just floated to the top. So it was the craziest thing. So now I always remember the cinnamon.
To put it in at the right time. Then we're going to put some flour.
Okay.
I'm just going to use the cup measure. We do have a cup and a half of flour.
Yep.
So I'll just put some to start with. I'm going to put the baking powder in it, and a teaspoon of baking powder. I'll give that a little stir as well. And I think the salt as well. Tiny bit of salt, just a pinch. Okay, we'll stir that in. This is a very simple recipe, really. Not much to it.
And you don't want to put all the flour in at once, because I think it gets kind of gooey. So
Yeah,
then you put
and
half and then half of the milk, right?
You get a little bit of lumps, yeah. I like to put a bit of milk now. We're having 2 cups of milk, so I'll add a little bit now. Stir it in. A little more flour. You want to get the flour for me, Laurel? Okay, good. Mix that up. A little bit
Should I
more.
put the rest or not quite?
No, I don't think so. I don't want to be sure to get this a good mix here. Get it all incorporated. A little bit more milk. I've still got lots of milk left. Did I miss putting in the vanilla? I'll put the vanilla in now. Yeah. Sometimes I just add it at the end. But I'm going to put it in now, a teaspoon of vanilla. Okay, I think we can have some more flour.
You do it so like little bit by little bit.
Yes.
When I do it, I usually go half and half.
Oh,
so
I like to
maybe I'm learning something.
I just like to put it bit by bit, and then I can whisk it, and I make sure I don't have any lumps that way.
Yes.
Okay, a bit more.
Bit more? This is the end
Yeah,
of it.
just put the rest of
Okay.
it. Okay, then I'll add the milk. It's quite a wet batter. It's quite.
It's quite a
Looks
bit thinner
perfect.
than a pancake.
Yeah, it is.
Batter, for
it's a little bit
example.
thinner.
Yeah.
And it has to be, because Pönnukokurs are quite a bit thinner than pancakes. So you need to be able to spread it on our pan. Okay, now I'm just going to let that sit for a bit.
Let's have coffee.
Yeah, a cup of coffee would be perfect. That's what I like to do. Mix it up, sit down for a few minutes, and we can have coffee together. And the batter is much better after it rests a little bit. So we'll just put that to the side for
Perfect.
now. And all this can go to the dishwasher. First step done. now Laurel and I have finished our coffee, so I'll just put that aside for now. And we're going to talk about our pan. This is an aluminum pan that comes from Iceland. It's perfect size and it's very light. I can remember my grandmother making pönnukökur with a cast iron pan, and I just can't imagine it. You have to season the pan first, which is heated with a little bit of lard. I think lard is the best thing to use. Butter, oil makes it sticky, so we always use lard. Just heat it slowly, wipe it off, maybe do it again, and then it's a seasoned pan. You're ready to use it. So now I'm going to see if it's hot enough. It looks like it's hot. So I've already turned the stove on. Yeah, see, when the water bounces like that, you know it's hot enough.
That's cute.
It's ready.
Yeah.
So I hope my batter is ready. I'm just going to lift the pan like this and just, oh, it's a little too hot now. Swirl it on. Make sure you cover it all. Okay, back.
Okay, she made that look really easy. It's actually not very easy at all.
Well, after you make a few, it's nothing to it.
Carry on.
Let's just get this one off the pan.
Sometimes the first one doesn't work out. I find that when I do it too.
Very often. However, I'll cook it on the other side anyway, just to.
Well, someone will eat it for
rid
sure.
of it.
They're always waiting here at the end of the counter for the cast-offs, because there's always a few when I'm doing it anyway.
Okay, so I need more butter, I think. There we go. The butter is a little bit hard. I usually like to have it a little bit softer, but we didn't have time maybe today. Okay, let's try that again. We'll just take care. And this is a special ladle. It's just the right size for the pan. If I ever give anybody a pan or instructions, I tell them try and find a ladle that is just perfect size for your pan. See, I used it all up, and there it is. Let's try this, get this off. Is it done?
Like I said,
You think somebody will eat that?
I think someone will eat it anyway.
Probably.
I'll put a little sugar, that always helps.
Yeah,
Or a lot.
maybe a lot. That'll make it more palatable. This is going to be a little bit better. The first batch I did today was perfect. Let's see.
How many batches do you normally do in a day? Like, it takes a while.
Oh, it takes a while. I usually make a double batch when I'm making. It's if you're going to, all that mess and trouble, you may as well make as many as you can. It takes me about an hour here at the stove to make a double batch.
And how many do you get out of that?
Anywhere from 4 to 5 dozen.
Okay.
A single batch would be just barely over 2 dozen, I think. I think we'll turn that stove down a bit.
Okay.
It's a little bit hot. Every stove is a little different,
Right.
so you have to kind of get used to the heat of your stove. And I usually try and remember exactly where I put the dial, so it's easier the next time. It's good to have a nice flat spatula like that, because it helps you to get underneath. I don't know what I'd do if I didn't have some of these. This is actually from a wedding gift.
No way.
Yeah. When we were married, how long ago was that?
How long ago was that?
Almost 63 years.
Ooh. This one is, I'll save that one for Dad.
Yeah, you better.
So it's nice to have 2 pans. I remember when you were first teaching me how to do it, you said it's good to have 2 because you take the first one, you cook on one side, and it can be cooking on the other side while you're getting the next one ready. So you're actually saving
quite a bit of time.
Yeah.
And it's also, I think, if you have to do it back on the same pan all the time, it doubles the time almost.
Yeah.
Whereas this way, by the time you get this off, you can start
It's looking
getting the other
better
one
all
ready.
the time. That one is near perfect.
Don't skimp on the sugar.
Okay, I try and put like a teaspoon, and sometimes I add. Just depends how it looks.
Yeah. That's
So at
true.
least a teaspoon. A heaping one, that is.
Yes, yes. That's what's done with it. butter. I butter it each time, and you have to use butter. Don't substitute margarine for it. It's still kind of hot.
Well, I turned it down a bit.
Yeah, it'll cool down.
Yeah. So I'm going to roll this one while you finish cooking that. So a couple of different ways that you've showed me is more like a fold. So you take one side kind of a third of the way, and then the other side to meet, and then
fold it again. It's very neat looking. It's all, and next time you can show the other way.
Yeah.
People do roll sometimes. My mother always did the fold.
Okay.
So that's how I like to do it, and why I kind of taught you that way.
Yeah.
The recipe is basically from my mother. She was a whiz at making them.
Yes. Well, you're pretty whizzy too.
I learned from her.
Yes.
And I can remember in the early days making some, and I was having difficulty. They were sticking on the pan, and I'd phone her up and I said, "Mom, what am I doing wrong?" Oh, she said, "Sometimes if it's sticky, I sometimes add a little bit of vegetable oil." Oh, I said, "You didn't tell me that. You didn't put that on the recipe."
Yeah, that's true.
Seldom have to do that. But once in a while, if you're having trouble, that's a little secret you can add. Just a tiny bit of oil.
So this one here, I'm going to just roll it, just roll it up.
Yeah. Just give it a roll, roll, roll. Yeah. And you can see how that they look quite different.
Yep.
They're very good with coffee in the afternoon, and they're a special treat for Icelandic celebration.
I always make at least one batch for whoever happens to drop by.
For Íslendingadagurinn, I should say. Made dozens of these at Minerva Hall. I belong, as you can see, to the Minerva Ladies' Aid, and celebrating 100 years this year. I haven't been there that long, but
well, I think we might have enough here for coffee.
Okay, maybe we should just let that do then. The only other thing I'm going to finish off with is how you clean the pan. It's important that you don't put it in the soap and water, because then you're going to take the seasoning off it. As you can see, it's almost as clean now as it was when we started.
Yep.
So I have a little bit of salt here, and that's how we clean our pan. Just put a little bit of salt on. Give it a really good rub. Get all the fat off it and whatever is left of the Pönnukökur. Okay, then I'll just put it on my second pan. Make sure I get the edges here. Okay, and as you can see, it's as clean as can be, and it's ready for the next batch. Okay, I think we're done. Any questions? Everybody come and have some Pönnukökur.